Hello and welcome to the first episode of Fork It, the podcast and live stream where I try to teach you about development, open source, and debugging, some skills that are sometimes not taught unless you're in the real world. And we're going to do this with open source software. Everything we're going to do is going to involve open source. And so I encourage you to go in and check out the links and the issues and pull requests, everything we do during this podcast. I want you to follow along. If you're interested in opening up your own pull requests and fixing your own bugs, that's what this is for. I want to inspire more people to do it. So this episode is going to be a little bit shorter than usual because I'm not doing a live stream. This was just a bug that I filed yesterday against Kubernetes. And I found this bug after days of troubleshooting. Not all of these live streams are going to be successful in 1 hour, but this is hopefully what the outcome will look like. And so in this case, I found this kubelets error where you could query the kubelet API for logs. You can go in and send it information and it will get logs for you from either a systemd service or from a file in var log. And in this case, I have a whole bunch of troubleshooting here, how to replicate the problem, how I went about troubleshooting and figuring out this was a problem. This was only happening on systems with Ubuntu. And the weird thing was the error I was getting from it was unique. It wasn't clear why I was getting that error, which let me down some maybe not the right paths initially. But the error was input contains unsupported characters, which is kind of weird. That doesn't seem like what I was doing, and I don't know why. So something was filtering out my characters before it was getting to the request, and you can see here, what I was requesting, the service, and everything else. So let's fix the bug. Let's go ahead and fork Kubernetes. And we're going to do that by going to the main repo. And I'm just going to type in a search. I'm going to go ahead and search for that error. I know that error is what was sent back to me as a string, at least the very end of it. The middle part was maybe more generic. And so in this case, input contains unsupported characters. We are very, very lucky that we get one result. There's only one line of code in the entire repo of Kubernetes that says that line. And so let's go ahead and open it up. And we'll see here, we have a function here, safe service name. It's looking for a string. So that's essentially passing the string we requested over to this function to make sure, hey, is this okay? And one thing here is it says, hey, it has to be less than 100 characters. And that's for buffer overflows and trying to cram a bunch of information that probably shouldn't be in a service lookup. And the other thing here is checking this match strings for my string, service name characters, which is a regex. It's matching some sort of regex here. And I know that just because I know the language enough. So if I look over here on the right side, in this file, we have a regex for it. Cool. This is the regex that we know it's matching for. It's trying to match for this. So let's look up what a systemd unit file or what a systemd service can have and see if we find a similar regex. I know I can have periods because on that system there is a period, but you'll notice nothing in this regex has periods. So maybe there's other characters we're missing. We want to make sure that we fill out is as full as complete of a service profile and character matching as possible. So let's go to systemd service name characters. First, systemd units, service names. This is probably what we want right here. First results. And so I can say valid unit names, specify each type. The unit name prefix must consist of one or more valid characters, ASCII characters, digits, colons, dashes, underscores, periods, and backslashes. And of course, all A to Z is in there. So we have a caret, which is our beginning of line, A to Z, upper and lower case, backslash, dash, underscore, numbers. There's also the @ symbol, which @ symbols are used for templating out service names, but I don't see any periods. There's no periods, not an option in there, which it is in systemd, like that's the docs say. So now we fork it. This is the moment. This is where we're going to actually fix the bug, right? So I'm going to hit period inside of GitHub. I don't want to pull all of this down locally. Kubernetes is a big repo. Let's not do that if we don't have to. Let's find that line. And, oops, where'd it go? Oops, I don't want to. Oh, keyboard shortcuts for me do not work in GitHub, and I do not know why. So if I hit Control F, it does not work. How else do I find? What line is that? 56, I think, something like that. 56, there we are. Okay, so we have all of our other characters. I'm just going to add a period. I'm just going to add a line. I could add it at the end. None of these are in order because these are in square brackets. So the square brackets mean anything in here. I'm just going to add it to the rest of the symbols because it looks better, right? If I added this at the end, it might look a little odd. So I'm just going to put it there. I also don't see colon on here, right? Because this systemd unit says we can have colons, dashes, underscores, periods. So we're going to go ahead and add colons as well. So we can have periods and colons inside this bracket for what we're matching, because those are both valid systemd unit characters that aren't in here. Cool. So we're going to save this file. And again, keyboard shortcuts don't work for me. If anyone knows why, please let me know. And we have this here, fix systemd unit string matches, commit and push. And that's going to automatically fork it for me I don't have ability to send it upstream. I don't have permissions in master or main in Kubernetes. So this will automatically make a fork for me. So we can create a branch. I'm going to call it system log query, because that's what I'm fixing here. So it says committed changes in my fork, Kubernetes. Do you want to switch to your fork to continue making changes? Switch to fork. Sure. Why not? So in really, if I look at my history, I don't even know how in this UI, it's fine. Let's go back over to github.com. I'm on my branch. Compare and pull request. Matches. I misspelled it there. So we got to fill out a bunch of information. And in a large repo like this, it's going to ask for all that information. So let's go ahead and skip ahead. I'm going to reference my issue over here, but I'm going to fill out this information without needing to live stream the whole thing. So we'll just edit past this as I fill this information out. All right, so I'm done filling out the required information. The only things I really had to put in here was the original link that we found the docs for, what I'm fixing, and then a link to where we actually use that in the upstream Kubernetes docs. So when people are trying to use this, here's the log query. I'll link directly to the log query section, right? So we can make sure. So I always try to preview those things before I submit, because even if I think I got it right, I often get it wrong. Okay, and that's it. I got one commit. It adds those two characters, a period and a colon, and we create our pull request. And now hopefully that's going to be fixed in the next version of Kubernetes. When Kubernetes 129 rolls out sometime later this year, if I made it within the change window, this is going to support this new query that I added, and then it's fixed for everyone else that tries to use this. That's how open source works. That's one of the beauties of open source. And while it did take me a few days to troubleshoot it and get to a point of why isn't this working over and over again, the fix ended up being two characters. For my fix, it was one character. It wasn't even a line. I needed to add a period into a regex. and just to fix it for everyone that I don't know if they need colons or not, I just know that colons are available from the docs. So that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to subscribe, check out my YouTube, justingarrison.com. I have a playlist just for the Fork It videos so that we can send them out as a podcast, because YouTube supports podcasts now. So if you want to listen to this later, great. If you know of another repo or a bug or something else you think that I should try to fix or review on Fork It, please let me know. Leave a comment and I'd be happy to check it out. I have some existing bugs I want to work through, but then I would love to just learn about new projects and new languages even through this process of forking repos, fixing bugs, and then contributing back. So everyone have a great day and be kind.